like to give this little process a try. I'm gonna give you a couple of assumptions, and we're gonna break the room out. A couple of assumptions. You all belong to a great club. So walking in the door, I'm telling you this right now. If your club needs a little tweaking, that's okay. But right now, for this purpose, your club is the best club. It's the greatest club. This side of, well, that side of the room, you're the right side of the room. You're going to break in groups of 3. One's a note taker, one's a Toastmaster, and one's a non-Toastmaster. One is a visiting Toastmaster. So your goal is here in this breakout, in a there's a networking group. The Toastmaster is going to the networking group, and you're meeting people from all walks of life, and you're looking for people to invite to your Toastmaster club. So you're selling your Toastmaster club. So groups of 3. I want one note taker. One person is the networker in the group, and one's the non-Toastmaster that person might meet in the networking group. And so I want you to try some of these skills that we talked about here, and we're going to give you a few minutes. Before we break out, I'm going to tell this side of the room. Again, groups of 3. One person's the note taker, one is the Toastmaster, and one is a guest who was dragged to that meeting by whomever, or they walked in the door. They have all sorts of objections. They don't want to be here. They have whatever. You can think of it. So groups of 3. I would like then one person's the Toastmaster, one's the guest, and one is the note taker. And then we're going to break. Then we're going to come back together in about 5 minutes and find out what you used, what worked, what didn't work, what was uncomfortable, that sort of thing. So, okay, look around the room. Can you see the little groups of? It can be 3 or 4, but generally speaking, 3 to give everybody a chance. And if you could time us about 5 minutes, Mike. So 5 minutes for everyone. Okay. Almost 2:30. Now I'd like to find out what happened here. What did we learn? A couple of things. I think we're going to start with the. I'm going to go back to this here just to remind us what we were talking about here. The networking group over here. So you people over there, somebody was out there networking someplace. Somebody give me your experience. Who'd like to be the note taker? Tell me the experiences that happened that you observed in the group. We'll go back. Faith.
Well, one thing I noticed, Bob was real eager to just tell her everything about things.
Okay.
Instead of really starting to ask the questions.
Open-ended questions.
It was hard to get in.
It is. It is very hard. So again, remember that. Remember to ask good questions, but please resist telling so much. Remember, wait to tell until you know what their needs are. Did I give you a treat yet? No. Oh, here. Can I pass this over? Okay, thank you, Faye. All right. I'm telling you your name again.
Janet.
What's your experience, Janet? What did you see?
The Toastmaster asked questions, leading questions. To draw the new prospective member out, which was very good. And the prospective new member had some objections, and she was very gracious in how she overcame it. I really liked that.
Good. Do you some of KO's experience?
Yeah, the only thing is, once she got on a roll, you could tell. I mean, of course, I was watching for this. She was excited to tell everything she could. So she kind of got a little bit dragged down. But we didn't see tonight.
Okay.
By then, I think I was drawn in.
Okay, so that she agreed to come to your visit, your housemate.
I can give you that.
Okay. Okay, one more group over here on this side that hasn't spoken yet. There's one more group. So one other group here, the middle there.
I was a note taker. Dennis too was right in there to tell what was going on and all the advantages of Toastmasters, and she couldn't shy away. We have to set the precedence of what we were doing, and I think you really need to think about, if you're in a networking group, what is that networking group? And my opinion was it wasn't a Toastmasters group, it was something they shared together, so you want to be kind of hesitant to get right in and tell everything. But you did a really good job. I mean, if I was the one that was listening, I would have been joining the Toastmasters.
That doesn't mean you're going to get a no when you tell too much, but sometimes this is that reason. It's try to build that relationship and understand the needs first. Okay, let's go to this side of the room here. And this side of the room is somebody was dragged to the meeting. What happened here? Who's the note taker? Marjorie?
Oh. Well, we started out with a dragged-in friend. Steve introduced everyone, and Nancy started talking. And she said, why did you come? So my friend brought me. Oh, what happened? And she said, well, I went to another club, and they just gave me terrible evaluations. And I heard your club is very good. gets good reviews. And
So there she's telling you something there,
so
right?
they sat and talked, and she told about the club, how well everybody mixed, good evaluations, and she said once in a while you hear some bad things, but she said overall we do a pretty good job. And so Violet said, well, do you suppose I could come and visit you? Well, that would be perfectly fine. And Nancy said, would you like to sit with me and I'll explain as we go along, or would you like to sit with your friend? Violet says, no, I'll like to sit with you.
Oh, excellent.
And she was very interested in joining this club.
So
And
you
that's
said
how
a
we
couple
ended.
of major things there, Marjorie. You actually, by the person's experience at another club, you found out something about her needs, the needs. So you listened to that experience, right? So valuable, hugely valuable. Okay, one other group over here.
I would just like to say this didn't actually happen. I didn't get a bad evaluation.
Okay, one more group here. One more group. Betty in the back of the room there?
Well, first thing I learned was that you don't ever want to trick Catherine somewhere she had a lot of objections of why she didn't want to be there. Everything was wrong. But Sean did a great job of opening to her. And so, well, what have you heard about Toastmasters? And then, well, so what do you do? And different things to get her talking on her life and her interests. And then something that she said gave him an anchor so he could say, well, that sounds a lot like what we do at Toastmasters, and then expanded on that more. So I think another minute or two, and she'd have been all calmed down and a great member.
So I heard some really good listening skills in play here. There you go. Okay. So, if I could bring my colleagues back up to the front of the room and wow, I think we learned a lot today, but really it's more important. Did you learn something you could bring back to your group today?
Yeah.
Did Robbie tell you something about evaluating what's inside where you're at in the sales process? Yes. Did I give you some skills that you may ask, questions, skills you may use in the process? And did KO help you overcome some of the objections you might get? Again, these are skills that I believe you've all been cultivating throughout the years. And we can put them to good work here in Toastmasters to build our clubs, to build our district, to build all the support around us. And who knows, maybe all of us, let's stand together, you guys. We don't have crowns. We could all be cookie kings and queens.
On behalf of District 6, I want to thank our presenters today for providing us some very valuable and very well presented information. And I have a certificate of appreciation plus a Target gift card for Pat Kroll.
Thank you.
And I have one for Ravi Rai. And I also have one for Keo Chang. And Pat, I would have bought your cookies. Okay, that pretty much concludes our session. A few announcements.